Live.
Good
We're live.
evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Raw Pet Medics.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy. Well, you're getting into it. We've got a great guest star tonight. Jackie is above us. Oh, this is interesting because we can see her, but all of the guys at home can't.
Ooh.
It's a blank screen on Facebook for her.
Oops.
Oh, Jackie, this is going to be great audio.
Good audio. Yeah.
I'm going to just see if we can mess about with the settings slightly and get things to work again. One sec.
Okay. So in the meantime, we're going to say hi. Connor, how are you these days?
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay.
I'm busy. What am I doing? Nothing very, very exciting to report. No, just busy and very, very happy. Very warm at the moment. There's still tomatoes on my vines, which is very weird. I'm still growing cherry tomatoes on the 4th of November. So that's strange. Is it warm over in England? Playing havoc with the mushrooms,
Yeah,
no?
pretty warm over here.
Yeah.
When
the mushrooms haven't come up. It's really annoying.
So Jackie was on the screen a minute ago. Oh, there she's back.
Yeah, we're just trying to reset her camera. We're going to see if we can mess things about a little bit because we can see her. But for some reason, Facebook is taking you. Oh, you're on.
Okay.
You're on. We can see you now.
Okay.
That's it. I've just got to move this Irish guy who seems to have taken the top spot for a moment off the screen.
Oh.
In his very debonair jacket.
Yeah, what's all this about?
Yeah.
It's the new me.
Yeah, is that right? In that case, the new me's just gone. See ya.
It's the new. Okay, so talking of new looks, this is the new.
Yeah.
This is the new Sean, not as in the sheep, but the Sean Brendan Clark. Here he goes.
Well, Connor said it is a really good way of speeding up the processor. If you remove some of the hair, it cools the
look at that.
down.
You've shaved your head.
It's great. Connor, I don't know what you see in this.
It makes me faster. Let's let Jackie off the lead here and start talking. And we've got it on podcast anyway, and you can flute around with the cameras, but everyone can hear her anyway. So let's just get into it anyway. Oh, Jackie, no, I can't hear you, Jackie. Can I hear you?
No, we can't. Jackie, we can't hear you.
Oh no.
I'm working on it.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
we're
thank
great.
God. Yes, yeah. All right, go for it, Jackie. Who are you, and what do you do, and where are you from, and all that?
Oh my gosh, so many questions. 3 men to answer to. This is going to be hard work tonight. Lord.
You're well able.
You're gonna love it. Yeah. You're gonna love it.
I am Jackie Jolie. I am from Kentucky in the United States, so way across the pond from y'all. And I have been a equine and canine body worker for the last 16 to 17 years. If we don't know what that is, I'm basically a physical therapist, massage therapist. I work with the whole body of the animal to get it to feel better, move better, and perform better. So rehab cases, performance cases, even just your typical couch potato dog that, injured its CCL, or a horse that's just out in pasture that injured. We bring me in for that performance and to help them feel and move and be better. In that career, I obviously learned a lot about holistic health and looking at the whole body of how it moves, how it functions, how it performs. Super rewarding job, especially because with animals, they don't verbally talk to us, right? And so when they're lame or off, it's like this big puzzle piece to figure out, which I always enjoy. A good challenge, just like talking to 3 men in one night. So I didn't know a ton about light through my career except for using lasers, because that's kind of what's always been around in the market. I didn't have one in my career because they're very expensive and inaccessible for most regular practitioners. But I did use one for a broken arm, worked phenomenally. I saw many cases in my industry where they worked really well. I didn't learn about light, which we're going to talk about tonight, on the larger quantum biology scale until I got sick myself. I got Lyme disease 6 years ago from a tick bite. And the regular allopathic system wanted to give me antibiotics for 3 months straight. Well, I was 35. I thought I was pretty healthy, and I'd had maybe a week's worth of antibiotics once or twice my whole life. And I knew enough about the microbiome and how the antibiotics can affect those negatively that I really didn't want to go that route. And everything that I was reading on Lyme disease, like those little buggers can protect biofilms and they can actually protect themselves from antibiotics to where the antibiotics are not even helpful at all. And then you're also getting detrimental effects to your gut and immune system from the antibiotics. So I didn't want to go that route. And I found some herbal tinctures and some programs to follow to heal myself. And congratulations, I healed myself naturally from Lyme disease using herbal tinctures and obviously some immune support and some gastric support. I didn't tell my doctor that, but I did years later that I healed it naturally and I did not take the antibiotics. However, once I healed the Lyme disease, my body still had a lot of symptoms left over that I couldn't recover from. So I couldn't recover from workouts. I still had a lot of brain fog and fatigue. And I just, for 36 years of age, I just wasn't at the energy level that I really thought I should have been at. And I had a good friend turn me on to Dr. Jack Cruz, who teaches about quantum biology. That is light, water, and magnetism, and definitely a whole nother topic for a whole nother podcast that would last like 6 or 8 hours. But I learned about light being the foundation of our health and changing our light environment to be more tied to nature, and that can truly actually heal your body because it's intervening with your circadian rhythms, with your mitochondria, which do lots of jobs in our bodies, and just setting everything at balance and on time in our body so that it runs regularly on like an optimal scale that it should.
Oh no, she's gone. She's gone. A loose wire somewhere.
I like that introduction. I was interested to hear. Oh, bloody hell.
Okay, I'm sure she'll come back on.
What's the laser, guys? Tell me what the laser bit was. She says, of course I was using lasers. I mean, does anybody even know what a laser is?
So there's different classes of laser. And so many of us use therapeutic lasers, usually as a class 3B, something like that, where we could set different frequencies for different depths of tissues, for different conditions. We've used that laser for quite some time. And then a lot of people came across the class 4 lasers and people started using something called a K laser. And that probably is the one that made lasers really popular in the veterinary market. And I think there's a lot of practices around the UK have a K laser where their nurses will be using that to effectively everything from standard pain relief for arthritis, etc. But you can actually program that, like the class 3B lasers, to deliver different frequencies and help healing all sorts of conditions and organs, and use it as acupuncture without needles. So there's all sorts of options.
Why would frequency help my sore joint?
So it's interesting, isn't it? It's about depth and penetration and activation. And there's a lot. I know, Nick, you've sort of looked into this as to those frequencies and what they do to your mitochondria and your healing rates and that side of things. So I think there's more and more known about that. I'm just going to.
Is that what it's for, Nick? Is it for stimulating your mitochondria to get working better? Is that it?
Well, I think historically we've used lasers to kind of stimulate a certain area. Classically, we'd use it in the context of having an animal in front of us. I've used it a light stimulation on acupuncture points. So you learn all about your acupuncture points, and you would stimulate those points not using the micro trauma from a needle, but from light. Okay, and that took us down this path of penetration and just stimulating one small area. What Jackie, I think, is doing is using near infrared light for its beneficial effects on the metabolism, because we know that near infrared will affect very much the cyclic ATPase and will upregulate the amount of ATP within the body, but it also has numerous other effects. And Jackie is back over there.
Yeah.
Over there.
Over there.
And so Jackie, I'll let you take up the story. So we've just discussing lasers. Brenda's given us some background on lasers. So how is the light the products that you use different from laser, and what are the effects you're looking for by using your products? This might be a good opportunity to show the the products that you use and perhaps their applications, maybe?
Absolutely. We can start there. I want to kind of finish a little bit of the story I was saying before.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
My light environments, because that's the
Mhm.
bigger picture than just using a tool
Yeah,
for healing per se.
yeah.
So when I did start learning more about light, water, and magnetism and light, and changing my light environment and light life to be more nature-based, which means our circadian rhythms, which are our natural clock rhythms in our body, every single system in our body, endocrine, cardiovascular, musculoskeletal, all of it, runs off of clocks. And we want all of our clocks to be on time, right? Because just like we had a time change over here in the United States, which is dumb, if we don't have our clocks on time, what does that day look like for us? Chaos, right? Like chaotic, running around, irritated, snapping people off. Well, if your clocks are not aligned in your body, then you have chaos in your body. What's chaos? AKA inflammation. If you have chronic inflammation in your body, what does that lead to? Science has already proven it leads to injury, disease, illness, cancer, and all-cause mortality. Not good. We want our clocks on time. How do our clocks get on time? Our mitochondria control our clocks. Our suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is our master clock at the bottom of the hypothalamus in the brain, receives its clock signals through the retina of the eye. And when I say us, I mean all of us mammals, us bipeds and the quadrupeds. Through our eye. Well, what's the first light that we would naturally be getting through our eyes if we still lived outside, tied to nature, instead of our modern monkey indoor lifestyle that we have now?
Dawn.
It would be sunrise. Sunrise has all red and near infrared lighting with no blue. First thing in the morning for about the first hour, hour and a half. So if everybody listening wants to know the best thing that you can do for you and your pet's health, and it's free, is seeing the sunrise first thing in the morning before you turn on any of these artificial lights that we have in our modern lifestyle. So before I compare lasers and talk about my products, most modern human beings, so that means our pets are doing this too, we are spending 98% of our time indoors, just like I'm doing right now with you guys in front of this blue lit tech screen underneath blue LED artificial lights above me. And it's a very foreign environment for our bodies and what our DNA is tied to. Our DNA is still tied to the primal light and dark cycles of circadian rhythms that we were born under the sun and the moon back in nature. So just like a lot of you guys are already on the raw food component, which I am a huge fan for and will die on that hill every day too. Why do we like that? Because our dog's DNA is still tied to the wolves, to the coyotes, to the wild animals that eat raw organs and meat when they kill their prey, right? Well, we have not changed what our light environment used to be from the beginning of time, of whether you believe evolution, adaptation, or the biblical story, or a combination of all three. Mitochondria was always there. The eukaryotes and the prokaryotes got together, used some sunlight, used some oxygen, and became a mitochondria. That's a whole nother podcast as well. But the mitochondria is what ended up making us these advanced, complex species of reptiles, animals, mammals, all of us, right? The mitochondria run us. And for all the germaphobes out there, just so you know, mitochondria is a bacteria. You have trillions of bacteria running your body. They're super smart and super good at what their job is, okay? Mitochondria make your energy, make your circulation in the form of near infrared heat, and it also makes your hydration for your cells, which is easy water, fourth stage of water. We never got told that in school. That's another topic for a podcast. Again, you guys are going to be seeing me a lot. Anyway, let's talk about light. So light is the fastest, strongest natural energy source in the existence of the universe that we have. If the sun was not here, none of us would be here, right? And the sun provides a full spectrum of light, Roy G. Biv, the whole rainbow. And our bodies are supposed to be receiving that throughout the day. Well, us and our animals stay inside all the time now, only under blue light, which is artificial. What are we missing the most of? Natural light. Especially when the sun is out all day long, you have red and near infrared 45% of the time outside always. Sunrise and sunset, you have the largest concentrations with no blue. Those are your most healing free times to be outside. Now, lasers and red light therapy, right? We want to use red light therapy because we're showing that it stimulates the mitochondria to do its job better. Great, that's awesome. And then injury cases, we've already proven it can help heal faster, prevent scar tissue. It's non-invasive for the most part. Lasers can be. But My message for our company and why we created a whole body product, which I'm going to show you here in a second, is we are deficient in natural light. We are deficient in near and red light, near infrared and red light, right? And so if your dog or you or your cat or whatever animal you have is deficient in vitamin C or vitamin D or magnesium or selenium, what would you do? You would either try to feed it through whole foods, which also has a light code from being outside, or you would supplement it, right? We need to start seeing that light is an actual supplement and a lightamin. Right?
Oh,
We need to actually be, I got some good creative marketing. So we need to start supplementing the red light. I can't replace the sun as far as the UVB goes for you. You got to get outside. And our biggest mission in our company is always going to be get your animal and yourself outside as much as possible. It's free. It is free health with your bare feet and paws.
Oh, we've lost you. We've lost you. We lost you.
Yeah.
She's there.
Yeah, she's there, but your sound
Okay,
keeps flipping.
this is-
You just
okay,
it's
I'm just-
audio again.
I'm
just
gonna
have a
just-
little reset. See when.
Okay, I'm just going to riff for 2 seconds because this was some of the stuff that I was talking about in Orlando in October of last year. Basically, the analogy that I used was scurvy. Okay, so back in the day, Jackie, you're back.
Yes.
Are you there? Oh, we can hear you. Right,
me,
we don't
yes.
need to listen to my story with my Coley voice. Carry on. You were saying about the supplements and getting outside.
So we need to actually see that light is an actual supplement, and it's the best supplement for your return on investment that you could possibly give yourself or your animal. It's light, so it's the strongest and fastest than anything else. And if you're using LEDs like we use in our product, it's non-invasive and you can't cause any type of harm. So it's foolproof for the pet owner that's feeling very helpless in what to do for their animals. Yeah. We have some animals out there that eat the raw diet. They've got the best nutrition. They exercise every day and they're still sick. It's because it's a light story. We are lacking light in our lives and in our life. So even the 2-year-old and the 3-year-old dog owner that comes to my table and goes, well, why does my pet need your blanket? They're not arthritic or stiff yet. Well, they're deficient in light. They stay inside 90% of their time. So we actually want to see the systemic effect on the body for providing light as a supplement. Every single cell in our bodies have a light sensor. They're called melanopsins. They were founded in 2014. You can go look it up. So we're not giving our bodies the light sensors that they need so that they can turn the clocks on in each system so that everything is running efficiently. Guess what gets better if you give your body light? Your diet, your exercise, your sleep, all of that stuff becomes simpler and easier, and it just profounds the health benefits of those factors of your body. So would we actually need to be spending so much stress and time and worry on this supplement and that supplement and that? We make it so complicated. Nature is simple. Light is simple. It heals. Now that we have all of that foundation of just what light is in general in the macro vision and that we are deficient. Oh, one other thing to note as well. Everything that's living outside, plants, trees, bushes, animals, even actually like rocks, they all reflect near infrared light. So we're lacking just the light that we would get from the sun, and we're also lacking all of the light that we would actually get from all of the living things outside that would reflect the near infrared back to us. We're just walking, talking, complicated plants. We photosynthesize just like plants do. It's just called cellular respiration, and we use mitochondria instead of chloroplast. Anyways, okay, that's our light topic.
Amazing. Now, so what you're saying is that everybody's conscious of vitamin D deficiency, vitamin C deficiency, but they are super not conscious of vitamin L deficiency, light.
How do they measure that, nerds? How do they measure if somebody is deficient in light? What parameters are you looking at in someone to see if they're deficient? People in nursing homes, I'm thinking, is there measurements? How do they quantify it?
Well, this topic is still coming around in the medical world. Obviously, Big Pharma doesn't like this topic because you can't patent light, and so it's harder to study. But I mean, if you just ask people how much time they're spending inside and how much time they're spending on tech screens and under artificial bulbs, then you're already going to know they're deficient in light. We used to live, breathe, sleep, produce, build outside. Yeah. And when we did have modern conveniences like light in our earlier stages, it was incandescent bulbs. They don't interrupt your circadian rhythms. They give off an orange and a red glow. Well, guess what? The United States made them illegal in August of last year because they're not green. But I think cancer costs a lot more money than a couple of pennies on the electricity bill. So fire, candles, incandescent bulbs, way healthier for you to have in your house. Red light bulbs.
Fire gives you red light.
Yeah.
Fire gives you tons of near infrared light. It's so healthy for you. The caveman, we're definitely onto something. Yeah.
So, Jackie, one thing that we've talked about before, and the tech guys will always say, well, look, actually, we can set your computer screen into night mode, so you're getting more red light. You can set your TV into red light mode, but there's something different, isn't there, about the LEDs and how they change the red glow in your tech compared to the light that you're talking about coming from fire, coming from plants, coming from outside. Tell us about that. What's the difference?
Yeah. So obviously on like our screen phones and stuff, it's just a red filter. So it's just a color filter that your eyes are just seeing so it doesn't get interrupted from circadian rhythm. When you're actually taking LED technology, which I guess this is a good segue into lasers versus LEDs, LEDs can capture any color of that wavelength, but with it being an LED, it's actually safer than like what lasers or flickering fluorescent LED bulbs will do. And you can actually capture the wavelengths that create a therapeutic light therapy session. So the filters on the phone are just a color filter. They're not actually like putting off any type of light. So your candles, your fire, and then the LEDs, it's actually producing power behind it to put out light that you can use as an actual therapeutic session, if that makes sense. So then if we are going to compare what's already been around to what we're doing now and what we're doing in our product, lasers were invented in the late 60s, early 70s, and that's really all we've had around for quite some time. And if we think that light's really not that powerful, if we think about lasers, we have lasers that cut through steel, we have lasers that cut through body parts in surgery, we have lasers that work on eyeballs in surgery, and obviously we have therapeutic lasers, which you guys as holistic vets have probably seen the differences it's done, but not all medics and doctors have. Light is super powerful. Now with a laser, you have a very coherent beam of light that's coming behind a ton of power at a very straight beam. They work. I'm not downing lasers at all. They've worked for years. They still work to this day. However, they're very expensive, so usually only practitioners can get their hands on them if they're willing to invest the money to have that in their clinic. Number two, it is a direct beam of power that's super strong that if you don't know what you're doing, and I've seen it, you can burn holes through ligaments and tendons, organs, and tissue. And so that's why you constantly have to be moving the laser. It's why you have to wear goggles. You put a laser in your eyeball, you're going to burn your eyeball off. And so there can actually be harm caused. You also have some contraindications with lasers. You can't use them on cancerous tumors because it creates too much of a thermal effect and can cause the tumors to grow or explode. You also can't use them on any body parts that have metal that have been put in. So like, let's say you have a dog that hit by a car and they have to put a plate in. Well, the laser is going to create a thermal effect and heat that up, so you cannot use it on that. Lasers also cannot be used on sensitive tissues, so like eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and rectum issues. So they're limited, as well as you can only treat an isolated area, and pretty expensive for the pet owner. They've got to come to the vet 3 to 4 times a week for those sessions, and it adds up. It's stress on the dog, the car ride, the vet office, all of those type of things. So LEDs got invented, let's say about 2 decades ago. We can capture the same healing wavelengths in an LED to where it's powerful enough to cause a physiological effect for healing, but not too powerful to where you can cause any type of harm or damage, which is awesome. And that just shows how powerful light is. The laser companies are probably not going to like that message over time because a lot of the laser companies have now gone to handhelds that are powered by LEDs and sell them to pet owners to take home. Great. They all work. I'm not here to down them, but they're still very expensive. These companies are charging for these things, and they really don't need to be. And you're still isolated only on one area that you're treating, and the pet owner or the vet still has to be with that client during that treatment. What do you guys want? More free time, right? What do pet owners want? More convenience, treating the dog at home. So, Dog Soul and Equisol was created to give a full body treatment.
Brent, can we give Jackie a big screen? Here you go,
Yeah,
Jackie. Just hang in there for a second. We'll just put you on the big screen.
Oh, okay. I like a big screen.
There you go.
For those on podcast, Jackie's holding up a dog with a jacket on, but after that, we'll just listen to Jackie for the explanation. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a full body blanket. As you can see, I've got the lights on here. We have a full collar that comes around the neck, adjustable strap on the front, full body through the body here with a patented belly band right here.
Cool.
That will go underneath the belly and on the body. And I'm just going to open up this whole thing now so you can kind of see all the light.
Wow, that is psychedelic.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
Cool.
good. And how would people use this? For what indication? Can you give us top 3 indications, Jackie, that people, it's an obvious question, but can you just give us top 3?
Number 1, your dog is deficient in this light because it stays indoors more. That's number 1.
But how can you tell that?
Because if they stay inside all day, they're not getting red and near infrared light.
Okay, so by definition, most dogs are vitamin L deficient.
Nobody's getting the sunrise with their dog.
For sure.
Right.
Well,
And then most people...
I do, here and there.
You do, Nick. Most normal people. Yeah.
Most people work, right? Like, think about your dogs. Like, they might go out to pee for 10 minutes, and then they're going to get their dog right back in the house. And then they have to go to work, and then they come home, and they go out to go pee, but it's getting dark, so then dinner needs to be made. I mean, dogs actually probably spend more time inside than even their owners do, which is horrible. So it's not just that they're light deficient. It's not to make that like a minimal thing, but if they're light deficient, that means their circadian rhythms are disrupted. It means they're not making vitamin D, which is for your immune system. The gut, which I just showed you, we have the patented design for a belly band, okay? So we all know on the holistic side, the gut is your second brain. That's where your immune system is built. It's where your microbiome is built. It's where your sex hormones are that are not just for reproducing, but for longevity. And it's also where your feel-good hormones are made. So serotonin, tryptophan, dopamine makes you feel good. Think about all the anxious dogs we have, the aggressive dogs we have, the depressed dogs we have, gut issues, all of that. These lights hitting that gut is going to be able to penetrate the gut microbiome, your heart, your lung conditions, organs, any type of scar tissue there from surgeries. Now, as Nick taught at his talk in Orlando in May, your gut, they're already showing in the human studies on red light therapy that it's healing the gut lining with red light therapy alone. So what if you don't need all of these supplements and all these different things that your kidney and liver already have to metabolize? What if we could just use light? Or what if we could use light in combination with herbal tinctures and supplements and the good food that we're feeding our animals? Like, health can be a lot easier when we start bringing nature back involved with grounding and natural light.
How does it penetrate? How does it penetrate hairy dogs? How does it penetrate down to guts, skin, bone?
So in photobiomodulation, which is the scientific term for light therapy and with red light therapy, the cool thing is there's over 7,000 scientific articles behind red light therapy alone. That is the only modality that I know, vitamin, supplement, pharmaceutical, that's been that well studied to prove its effects, number 1. In all of the 7,000 studies that they've done, there was a couple of parameters that were very common patterns in their healing productive cases. Number 1, they were using low-level light. Even if it was a laser, they were still using very low dosage light to be able to penetrate through to create therapeutic results. Number 2, most of them were all done contact methods, so with the light actually on the skin. Well, lasers are very strong to do that with, and a lot of the red light therapy that's in existence now is like panels or like handhelds that you have to move around. When it's contact method, it will penetrate through the fur. It's just with the LEDs, like this blanket runs for 15 minutes. It's gonna deliver just as much as a laser can in 2 or 3 minutes, but without the harm that can be caused. Yes, if a dog has a darker color coat or a thicker coat, I might recommend to you that you might need 2 sessions to get the same penetration that like a lighter dog or a thinner coat might take at 15 minutes, but it is going to penetrate through. As well as in our specific products, we have put 5 wavelengths into our products, not just the 1, 2, or 3 that other companies have. And we're giving a full body. You saw all that light. It's not just one laser or one LED at one spot. We're giving a systemic effect that's going to take over the whole body to get that full body treatment. It's wireless, it's rechargeable. The pet can wear it while the owner's doing dishes or making dinner. 15 minutes and you're done. And the cool thing is it's safe for all mammals. Your cat can use it, your dog can use it, the rabbit can use it, the human can use it, the kid can use it, everybody can use it. And you can help promote your health with light.
Can I just say, I don't think that belly band's big enough for Connor.
I might wear it as a hat though, and just grow hair back or something. Yeah.
We have 6 sizes of dog blankets, so we have one for every size available,
Nice.
even the Irish ones.
Nice. There's so many studies of red light therapy. I was looking at, I don't know why I'm picking on older people here, but I'm just thinking of people in nursing homes, a lot of those people in institutions, people that are sick, people in ICU. Jackie's just tipped off there, but she'll be back. But like, there's so many studies of it being used, and these are randomized controlled trials. I mean, I can't pretend I've gone through any of these. I'm just glancing at them. But the difference in like strength training with older people with and without red light therapy, like you want to see those p-values. P 0.0001, like really convincing results. So there's, when she says there's oodles of studies, they're really hopping off the page here, just looking at older people, where I suspect they would have the least amount of red light. You know what I mean? What was that study that you mentioned, Nick, where the beds near the window had the best results in the ICU? What was that study in the hospitals? Beds nearest the window.
I don't remember that study, but there is a study from Imperial College from 2-3 years ago where they subjected volunteers to near infrared light. This is just an example, an example of people saying, well, it's just on the skin. How's it going to affect me? And so what they did is they measured insulin. No, they measured glucose levels. Okay, really easy to measure. And they found that there was a 27% drop in abnormal glucose levels in those people who had 15 minutes of exposure to the near infrared. This is like 660 nanometers.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy. So these are actual whole body systemic effects from exposure just to this red light. It's crazy. This is like the invention of electricity, whatever it was, 130 years ago. This really is absolutely enormous, but it's only an enormous thing because we don't get out enough. If we lived outside more, many of these problems wouldn't appear. They've done studies with people who go up to the space station because they are absolutely flooded with artificial light, like mainly blue-based light. Okay, and because these are very, very studied people, their metabolic everything is studied before they go up, and their metabolic everything is studied when they come down. And they find that these guys are metabolically diseased when they come down after just 3-6 months in space. So living on Earth, it's slightly less bad. That effect is slightly less bad because occasionally you go out to go and get some milk, or you take the dog out for a walk or something like that. But cumulatively, over years and years and years, these things are absolutely going to catch up with you. So if you cannot walk your dog at dawn and dusk in order to get the red light, or if it's like really overclouded and what have you, which it is in the UK very, very much, then I think looking into the red light therapy, and it's dead easy. You just put a jacket on the dog for 15 minutes every day. Yeah. That's pretty easy. So, Jackie, coming back to you, we're just kind of giving some background here just to kind of really ram this message home. I think it's such an important message.
The 2 different scientists that you guys just brought up, number one, NASA was one of the very first leaders in red light therapy research to grow plants in space. So number one. Number 2, when you talk about hospitals and their effects of the near infrared on some of the patients being closer to the window, our hospitals actually used to have solariums. If you go back and research for back in the 40s and 50s, they used to have solariums. They would put people outside to give them light to heal them. And now we have closed up windows in nursing homes and hospitals with blue light everywhere, Wi-Fi everywhere. And it's the best for germs and bacteria. But where does everybody get MRSA now? The hospital.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And some of the people who are most affected by this is doctors and nurses, because they have very, very long shifts. So they go in before it gets light. They're under LEDs all day long, and they come home when it's very late, and they get these metabolic disease profiles because they're under this artificial light all the time. Yeah. How ironic is that? Jackie, back over to you. You had a handheld module that you were showing us. Yeah. We just got 10 minutes, but after this, we're going to have another 10 minutes. So if there are any real gems that you want to bring out, then we do have a little extra time for you to share those things. So you showed us the handheld module that you had. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, so this is our torch that we just came out with about 2 weeks ago or so.
2 weeks ago, super new, off the press.
Super
That's
new, off the
very
charts.
cool.
They're
Okay.
selling my product for me. It's great.
Okay.
So it's going to have 3-minute sessions, which just makes it really super quick and handy dandy. It's a little more high powered than our blankets, so that you only have to use it for 3 minutes because it is handheld. 3-minute sections. Now, Nick, you were talking about acupressure points before. This is awesome if you know of the acupuncture points to help heal animals. If you have an animal that doesn't like needles, or you just want to be able to do this at home because you can't do needles, you don't even have to do the 3-minute session. This is going to activate the point within a minute. So if you want to time it and take off a minute, then do the next point for a minute, you can totally use this for this. 3-minute sessions, it has 3 settings. This first setting, as you can see here, so see how there's a little bit of blue in that as well?
Yeah.
So we put a blue wavelength with red and near infrared because blue is naturally antiviral and antibacterial. So let's say you had a dog with a bunch of skin issues, mange, ringworm, roundworm, some type of itching, eczema issues, fungus on horses. You can use this first setting that has the blue, red, and near infrared to actually fight the fungus or viral infection, and then use red and infrared for healing. If you don't have a fungus or viral issue, you would use the second setting that is just red and near infrared. So you would use this for muscle strains, targeted areas of, like my dog that has CCL tear. I use this on a CCL tear every single day along with the full-size blanket. You can use this in the groin. And then the very last setting is just near infrared, so you can barely tell that it's on there. This is going to be for much deeper healing or for chronic issues of like arthritis, bone on bone, cyst, things like that. We also put 810 nanometer in all of our products. It's one wavelength that a lot of products don't have, and 810 is strong enough to go through the cranium. So if any type of cognitive issues, brain tumors, head trauma, horses, dogs, cats, humans, the 810 is super, super healing. There's a bunch of neuroscientists and stuff that are helping autistic kids talk again, paralyzed people walk again, just by using 810. Now, what's also cool about our torch is we have an attachment piece here that screws on super easy, comes with the whole package. Now, what lasers can't do is they can't do sensitive areas, right? This attachment piece right here, you can do nose, eye, mouth, ear, and rectum issues and actually heal. You can help eyesight issues by putting this right on your eyeball or up your nose for a nice energy boost.
Nice. Christmas. Very Christmassy. Yeah. Is there people are going to be wondering 2 things. Is the first thing, is there no risk to your eyes from this red light?
It'll actually help heal your eyesight. Look up the research.
What?
Yeah.
Compared to lasers, that you can get those attachments to the K laser, which is great for doing acupuncture points, great for doing those sensitive areas, but you've got to be really careful around the eyes with those. Yeah. So it's interesting, isn't it? Different frequencies there being discussed. We'll just fill in the gaps while we're waiting for Jackie to come back. There's some interesting bits there. I mean, even, for people wanting to sort out allergies and things, yes, this can make a difference to dogs. You know, that actually a lack of some of those light frequencies can have an effect on health at all sorts of levels. Hormones, we've talked about the influence of hormones upon all of those other diseases. When you've got LH in excess, what can happen with the inflammation in the rest of the body. So absolutely has relevance there with what you can do. Jackie's back. Let's just see if we can bring her back into the room. Interesting that the LEDs are not at risk. However, in the UK, all of these instruments now actually come under the radiation protection recommendations. So if you're in practice, you do actually have to go through some fairly strict checks of who walks into the room when you're using, whether it's a laser, even some of the LED things. So it'll be interesting to see what Jackie says about that.
Would it come under that jurisdiction if Jackie's able to supply the wavelength that she's using within her machines, and maybe some scientific papers, maybe it wouldn't apply. Because I mean, if you can shine this thing in your eye and it doesn't cause any harm, and there are no cases of harm from these units, then surely the radiation, well, in
Yeah, it's all about risk
in a
assessment.
logical world, there wouldn't be any
Yeah.
comeback from the Radiation Protection Board, whoever it is.
Service, yeah, the RPS, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the point, is that you can look at that. Just
So,
reminds
Jackie,
me.
sorry, Jackie, you're just saying this thing. Is it possible to say there is no damage from using this machine? There is no way that you can injure yourself or your dog in any way, shape, or form, even if you stick it up your nose for 3 days.
Yes, there's never been one case of any type of harm or overdose caused when using LED powered red light therapy. Now, again, I will say that for the customers out there, because red light therapy is definitely exploding on the human side and now somewhat in the animal side, you do want to make sure you're working with a company that has done the research, knows the knowledge, knows the science. There's lots of companies that just jump on the bandwagon to make a buck, and they're making products that might be overpowered, right? I don't know how it is over there across the pond, but in the United States, we think like if a little bit of something's great, then a whole bunch of it's even awesomer. Yeah. And it's not. And so you get a lot of these devices that are like, we're the most high-powered, laser or red light therapy company out in the market. Buy our product. Well, you're frying the tissue and the mitochondria by having it be too high-powered and causing issues. It needs to be low level. It needs to be contact method. You need to have a company that's actually doing their due diligence. I've been working with animals for 16 years. I'm certified in quantum biology. I've been working with red light now for 5 to 6 years. I have the veterinarian that's like the photobiomodulation, like small animal and horse vet on the company, on my advisory board, consulting with me. And I test every single product before it gets sent to customer. I test it for non-native EMFs. I test it to make sure the right wavelengths are there. I test to make sure the battery is good. Not your product on Amazon's not going to do that. Your big, huge corporations are not going to do that.
Jackie, sure. I've got a Fotizo is the product which is being promoted in the UK, and I think it's a very good product.
Yep.
I would love to get one of your handheld units so that I can compare. I am permanently achy, my elbows, my shoulders, whatever, and so I'd love to do some comparisons. Is that something that you might be able to organize? I'm fascinated. Yeah. I'm fascinated.
Absolutely, I'd love to get one in all of your hands. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Awesome. I've got a dog with them. A sore back. Can you hear me?
It's 1944, so maybe we can do that on Patreon.
And there's a couple of questions coming in on Facebook as well. So it'd be great to ask those because there's various things from you've talked about different options. There's people with wraps to go over their LEDs to change the frequencies and things. We need to talk about whether they're appropriate or not. And we've got, whether it's safe, because some people will be, there's some of these new units which are almost like lasers that you can take home, which aren't LEDs necessarily. We've got to talk about, are they safe? What sort of precautions you need to take, as well as, we've seen these great red light saunas that you can get for the corner of your room. Is that appropriate? So
let's get into that. Listen to this. This is so big.
Listen to this before you go. In relation to the decline in vision with age, a small human study, 20 people from University College London, used 670 nanometers LED red light for just 3 minutes in the morning, and after one session, the people reported on average 17% improvement in color. 3 hours, 17 to 20% 17% improvement in color from one session, up to 3 hours post exposure, and with older participants saying that improvement lasted a week. 20%. Wow. So, that was from one exposure. Can you imagine just using this is crazy age-related myopia? Oh my god. Anyway, when she says the studies behind it, there really is. I can't wait to talk into them.
It is extraordinary. Great. So that was Jackie Jolie. She is from Equisol, and she doesn't pay me anything for this. I'm just really excited about any type of photobiomodulation. I think it's we are all vitamin L deficient. We are all light deficient, and we need to change our environment.
Don't you, Nick?
I do like my vitamins. We're all deficient, And this is a way of becoming healthier. This is a way of making our dogs and our cats and our horses healthier, really pretty simply. And I think that's really, really exciting. So let's jump over to Patreon and see what we can talk about.
Indeed. Brilliant. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone out there. We look forward to seeing you again next week. And it's been great to see you. Remember, if for the price of a cup of tea, you can join us over on patreon.com/Raw Pet Medics, and you will get an extra fix, a bit on the side, as we like to say.
It's always good.
It is. Don't let your wife hear you say that. Right. Okay. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.
See you guys.